Gotta stay hydrated for the amount of cardio I'm about to do.
Literally just asking the girlies if anyone had a shirt I could borrow.
I literally just finished work and it's 5:19. Try being an influencer for a day.
So let's do my biggest luxury unboxing literally ever.
That's who I am. I'm not a mean person. There ain't no way that girl is a nurse.
Plate my cat's breakfast with me. We have some salmon roe caviar for seasoning.
Yeah, we can replace them with like balcony ticket. I was like, no, like I finna be in the pit.
Many have started growing tired of influencers who constantly flaunt their wealth during a time of economic severity for the average person. You can look around and see most people struggling in one way or another, then go online and see internet celebrities showing off luxuries that you will likely never see a fraction of in your lifetime. TikTokers like Becca, the daughter of supposed billionaires, or Taraswrld, not the heiress of billionaires to my knowledge, but an influencer who has had several quote-unquote out-of-touch moments, where her biggest complaints involving spending over $10,000 on concert tickets, and more recently asking her audience to borrow a top that she needed for New Year's Eve, and roasting somebody who offered it to her. Things ended horribly there, by the way. Or perhaps one of the most popular TikTokers of recent years, Mikayla Nogueira, doing unboxing hauls consisting of hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of designer products with what appears to be the absence of light behind her eyes. While just a few years ago, one singular designer item looked like a lifetime accomplishment for her. While I can do a deep dive on every single chapter of this entire topic individually, today we're going to dive into the reason why so many consider these creators to be out of touch. We're also going to get into how, despite what you feel about their content, why it does still end up being so successful. Because for many people upset about the contrast of these videos reflecting reality, there are so many more who may see this as an escape or not even problematic at all. So are these influencers in the wrong? Today, dearest viewer, you shall be the judge of that. And I'm honestly going to judge too, but you know. Before we continue, I'd like to talk about a new sponsor on today's channel, Becca. Becca and I are working together today to do a massive spicy toy giveaway. Everybody who uses my link in the description to sign up will receive a free rose suction toy with their order. Yes, you heard that correctly. Everybody who signs up using my link will receive a free spicy toy with their order. So what is Becca? Becca takes pride in being a by women for women sexual wellness brand, with their focus being empowering you to explore yourself without any shame or guilt, but instead by embracing it unapologetically. And with Valentine's Day coming up, this is the perfect opportunity to try out something new. Their toys are made with medical grade body safe silicone that also come in very discreet yet colorful packaging. And while we're on the subject, shipping is discreet as well. Knowing that your neighbors, roommates, or anybody else won't be in your business when you receive this package will bring you a sense of relief. Additionally, Becca has your back with an unmatched warranty program. They provide 1-year no-hassle replacements and a 10-year quality guarantee. So give yourself something this Valentine's Day because you deserve to embrace all parts of yourself. And just to remind you, Becca will be sending a free rose suction toy when you sign up for my giveaway using my link in the description and place your order. So grab it while you can. Thank you so much to Becca for sponsoring today's video. With that being said, let's get back into today's topic. Hello, it's been a minute. I technically do not live here right now. Well, I guess I do. This is my place of residence, but allow me to let you see.
Oh, great heavens!
Okay, so it kind of just looks like there's a little trash bag out there. It's not a trash bag. I'm probably not really supposed to be here because it's probably not the best thing for my health, but I can't record where I currently am at. And let me show you what is going on. We had a lot of remediation done. My animals are at the place that we are staying with. We're staying with family right now. This isn't stopping me. This isn't going to prevent me from talking about things. I want to start off with talking about an issue that had taken place at the very beginning of the year, and actually technically towards the end of 2025 as well. This involves an influencer known as Taraswrld. Now, Taraswrld may not be on the highest scale of wealth when it comes to things like RichTok influencers, and we'll get there, but there is a pattern here that I want to bring attention to because it really does play into this out of touch mentality. So Tara, better known on TikTok as Taraswrld, is somebody that I have made a video on in the past. She has a history of controversies, including being pretty weird with her bird, but again, That was a previous video, a deep dive if you will, and if you're interested in that, that'll be linked in the description below. Today, we are just focusing on the out of touch part, for a lack of a better term, because that is what a lot of people have been critiquing a lot of these influencers for doing. Aside from the bird incident and some other controversies, one of Tara's most well-known moments is for complaining about spending $10,000 on pit tickets.
Yeah, we can replace them with like balcony tickets. I was like, no, like I finna be in the pit.
And let me take a step back here. As a fellow concert enjoyer, I'm not knocking anybody for wanting pit tickets in general. They are on the more expensive side sometimes. I guess it depends on the concert and the venue you're going to and how soon you get them, because last minute prices can change. But I personally find that general admission is good enough, especially if you take the time to get there early enough so you can get as close as possible. But even if you get an assigned seat, you could still get pretty close. And it will probably be a lot less than pit ticket costs, at least from the concerts that I've gone to. Every venue is different, but the way Tara is and operates, at least from her scandals, is that she treats things that are a complete privilege as if they are a necessity, as if these are things she needs. Then she goes online to complain about that and comes off as completely unrelatable, and that doesn't go well with her audience. This is her complaining about the concert tickets and having to spend $10,000 last minute because someone messed up.
When I'm buying tickets, I always use SeatGeek, but for this like specific concert on StubHub, it was much cheaper. So we decided to buy them on StubHub, and it was like $1,700 for 2 seats. So we're walking out the door, me and my friends, and Max is waiting for us at the venue. And I'm like, these tickets never made it to my email. I'm like looking, it says the tickets were confirmed, but like the tickets aren't there. So I call StubHub and they're just like, yeah, like she was basically just like, yeah, like we can't give you your pit seats. Like I was like, I paid almost $2,000 for these pit seats. I need these pit seats. She was like, yeah, we can replace them with like balcony tickets. I was like, no, like I finna be in the pit. Like I bought these pit tickets. I need these pit tickets. She's like, well, we can't give them to you. Like the seller, we can't get in touch with him, blah, blah, blah. I am like out the door. I am like, oh, I can't even explain to you the stress that I was feeling in this very moment. I was just like, what are you talking about? So I go on the internet, I go on SeatGeek and I go on Vivid Seats because I'm like, what do I do? And I also have Max waiting for me at the venue like, hey, where's my ticket? Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, by the way, we have balcony now. Like, what? And I'm going with like a whole group of people. I go on Vivid Seats and SeatGeek and there's 1 ticket left on each site. After taxes, $4,200 each. I buy them because what other choice do I have? And thank God those worked, but I spent $10,000 on all these tickets.
Now, to be honest, yeah, I would be mad in that situation. I've had a concert situation before where somebody on a tech end had placed the wrong order and it was a hassle, and you know, it's an inconvenience, it's frustrating, but that's not something I'm going to make a big deal out of and complain online in great detail and act like it's the end of the world. It was, at the end of the day, an inconvenience and we got it fixed. I was happy enough to just be able to go. In this situation, though, yeah, I would be mad because that's a lot of money. In fact, I wouldn't be in this situation because I would not be spending that much money on pit tickets. That is a lot of money for something like that. And that's the thing I think that makes a lot of people upset, is that's a lot of money for something like that. And the average person isn't going to spend that much money on something like that. Which, to be fair, it's her money. She could do what she wants, but when she makes it everybody else's business by complaining about it on the internet, people are free to give their valid criticisms on how that is not the most relatable thing, and she should just be grateful she even went. Tara was expecting her audience to somehow find this relatable. Sure, compared to right now, a few years ago, things weren't this bad economically, which is why I think there was more of a divide on the opinion back then compared to if this were to take place right now. That being said, the economy was still pretty bad just a few years ago, and it was bad enough for this to put a sour taste in the mouths of a good portion of her fans. I've said this before, your money is your money. As long as you're not harming anybody by whatever you spend it on, do whatever you want. That's your business. The thing is, though, as we continue, she tends to make this everybody's business by going online and complaining about this to her audience, who, despite what she claims, are a bunch of strangers to her. As I said previously, at the very least, this definitely isn't relatable and wasn't relatable 3 years ago either. And it seems like she didn't take the criticism well at all, even going into 2025 with this weird cup of a video where she's dancing to her own voice talking about the pit.
I was like, I paid almost $2,000 for these pit seats. I need these pit seats. She was like, yeah, we can replace them with like balcony ticket. I was like, no, like I finna be in the pit.
That was nothing compared to what happened earlier this year, however. Around New Year's, Tara found a top she wanted and was looking all over for it. She made a TikTok pleading for anybody in her audience to lend her a specific halter top.
Girls, I need your help. This is like a really specific request, but if anyone that lives in the LA area has this halter top from For Love and Lemons in a size small or extra small, can I please borrow it?
Let me borrow that top.
For New Year's Eve, I need it. This is do or die for me. I want to wear this shirt so bad, but it's sold out everywhere. I looked everywhere. I scoured the internet. This is like a shot in the dark, but for Coachella, I needed this like specific tube top, and one of y'all came through and Uber packaged it to me, and it was really kind. So if like anyone has this halter top, I would really appreciate it. It would make my year. I guess like DM me on Instagram if you live in LA and you like have this specific halter top. Oh my God, thank you.
First of all, Tara being an influencer with a following of over 5 million, did she not consider the potential security risks and dangers of just asking her audience if she can borrow a shirt and trusting that somebody would actually go out of their way and lend one to her? I'm not saying people shouldn't lend her a shirt. What I'm saying is, how do you know that what you're getting into isn't going to be a dangerous situation by trusting somebody with that? That's just my opinion, though. Soon after, though, somebody reaches out to Tara offering the top. Tara claimed that when they offered her this top, she was later fucked over.
One of my haters did something up to me today. So you know the whole halter top drama that did not have to be a drama? I was literally just asking the girlies if anyone had a shirt I could borrow.
Okay, there are so many issues here. First, she claims this person was a hater of hers when she was willing to send her the shirt she was desperately looking for. Secondly,
I consider like my audience my friends. I wouldn't make TikToks if I didn't consider y'all friends.
no, you don't. I do not care what anybody says. When people who are very popular influencers go online and try to convince their audience that every single one of you are their personal friends, that is a lie. I'm sorry, that is not true. And if you genuinely believe that, please get a psychological evaluation or relearn the definition of what a friend is.
Stop it. Get some help.
Now, you could have respect for your audience. You can have gratitude and admiration for the people who support you. That is absolutely okay. And you could even meet a few people through doing what you do online and make friends that way. But there is a difference between your viewers and supporters and people who you consider friends. It is impossible to personally know over 5 million people and consider every single one of them your friend.
Aren't we friends? So what's the problem? Let me borrow the top.
But because I'm an influencer, people assume that I'm like the worst person in the world. I'm evil. I don't deserve respect. I don't deserve kindness, all the things. Which makes no sense to me. It's literally just like the job that I have, but like whatever.
I don't think she's evil. I just think she makes really poor choices. And at points needs a reality check, not just for her own good, but for the benefit of the people around her, just to be completely honest. Secondly, and more importantly, again, I just want to say, you claim that this is what people think of you who watch your content, but then in another breath, you claim that every single viewer of yours is your friend, all of your followers are your friends. It doesn't align.
I had this like halter top that I really wanted to wear for New Year's Eve, but it was sold out everywhere. So I was like, oh my God, I have 5 million girls that follow me on TikTok. Let me see if any of them have it that they could lend to me. So I made a video. I was like, does anyone have this like specific shirt that they could like let me borrow just for a night and then I'll send it back to you? And a couple of people were like, oh, I have it. And I was like, oh, great. Like, can I please borrow it? I'll take such great care of it. I'll give it back to you right after New Year's Eve. And they were like, yeah, for $2,000.
She'll pay 10 grand for concert tickets, but won't pay 2 grand for a shirt.
Sure, Jan.
So I planned on going to the mall today, but I got a DM late last night like, hey, I have that shirt, like you can borrow it. I was like, oh my God, really? Like, I will take such good care of it. I'll send it right back to you after New Year's Eve. Like, she lived in the Valley. She was gonna Uber package it to me. We were chatting for a while. She seemed so nice. So today I did not go to the mall because I was like, she's Uber packaging me the shirt. Didn't go to the mall today. I was completely relying on her. She ghosted me. She was playing the long game. She was like pretending like she like loved me so that I wouldn't go to the mall and like find a shirt. And then she like ghosted me. I'm honestly like right on. If I hated someone that much, I wouldn't be able to like pretend like I loved them for as long as she did. me over real bad. She was just like, yep, hasn't answered me in like 3 hours.
The person she was talking about commented on this TikTok saying, "Hi everyone, it was me. I am so sorry. I am a nurse and there's so many sicknesses going around and it was so short-staffed. And I had to stay overtime. I just got off and it's 3 a.m. I have apologized to Tara. There were so many patients in the emergency room tonight. I'm not a hater. I still do love her content." To which Tara responded, "If you knew you were going to be working, you shouldn't have offered. Or you could have told me that so we could have worked around it. Like, respectfully, give me a break. Girl, you want a top from a nurse who had to stay overtime unexpectedly because her patients were sick and they were short-staffed." She then comments, "You told everyone I'm a secret hater, but I guess you really will do anything for content. A patient was actively in code blue. I apologize to you and you were so mean about it. Acting like a halter top was better than nurses being short-staffed and people's lives." Somebody responded with, "Ignore her. The people who actually have real jobs understand where you're coming from. You not being able to answer for a couple of hours and then her proceeding to go on TikTok to throw a fit about not being able to wear a top speaks more." And then this screenshot was cut off. I apologize. I found the screenshot on a forum discussing this situation. There is some speculation that all of this is manufactured for Tara to gain attention online. I'm going to put that to the side for now though, because as of this moment, one, there isn't enough to prove that to be true, and two, I don't know why somebody would want to make themselves out to be such a jerk to a fan of hers who also happened to be a hard-working nurse. What would she gain from that? Sure, maybe a few days of direct virality on her TikTok page, but is the hate from that really worth it, especially with the way she responds to it? So for now, we're going to continue this from the perspective that this was not a manufactured drama for attention, because as of right now, I don't see why it would be. After this situation, Tara had a series of crash outs.
The internet is a crazy place, and I know I keep saying like, y'all, it's not that deep, and everyone's like, then why are you still making videos? I'm making this video because people are commenting on my stuff and DMing me saying, Taraswrld values a halter top over a human life. If she had said to me, hey, I have the halter top that you want and I wish I could get it to you, but I actually have a shift tonight at the hospital, you know what I would say? I would say, oh my God, that's totally fine. Like, go slay at your job. Like, good luck tonight. Like, love you forever. Like, but that wasn't the case. And like, who cares? Am I explaining this? Oh my God. Okay.
I mean, you roasted a nurse publicly for not having time to message you about a shirt that they were going to lend you for free, I'm assuming, by the way. And the reason why that happened, according to her, was because she was at her job. But okay.
So we were talking for like 12 hours, right? We started talking the night before New Year's Eve, and she was like, yeah, I live in the valley. Like, I'm gonna get you this halter top. It's gonna be great. We were chatting. We were whatever. We're talking for like 12 hours about the halter top. I'm so excited. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't go to the mall to get a shirt because she said that she would give me the halter top. Then like 4 o'clock rolls around and I had to leave by like 6. She just stops answering. Never once told me that she had a shift to work. Never mentioned work once. She just stopped answering until like midnight.
She is expecting all of this over a top, by the way. And listen, I get being bummed out about it for a little bit, but I really don't think a rational person would do something like this on purpose. Especially somebody like a nurse who works extreme hours, and as she previously said, that particular day she was working overtime.
So yeah, I was annoyed, and you would be annoyed too if your friend was like, yeah, like, don't even worry about going to the mall. I have a shirt that you can wear to this specific party, this specific dinner. Like, I have something that you can wear so you don't go to the mall and then your friend ghosts you that day and never gives you the shirt. You'd be annoyed too, but it's not that deep. I was just annoyed.
Tara claims it wasn't that deep. I agree, it wasn't that deep. It was a shirt. You probably have plenty of other shirts you could have worn at this party, even if you didn't have time to go to the mall after finding out that this wasn't going to happen. But Tara made it deep by lashing out in a TikTok video that I believe has since been deleted, calling her a hater to over 5 million followers. But she was just annoyed, you guys. You don't understand.
And people are making videos and commenting on my stuff like, Taraswrld hates healthcare workers. Taraswrld values a halter top over a human life.
Ironic, considering you claimed a healthcare worker hated you over a shirt.
I'm like, oh my God. Some of y'all take way too fucking seriously. Even the girl that was supposed to give me the halter top, she like made this like declaration. She was like, I'm taking a step back and I will be like logging out of TikTok. I'm like, girl, what? Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, probably because you blasted a random person to your 5 million follower audience.
Everyone needs to be heavily medicated this year. I think.
Starting with you, probably. Keep this in mind for later because the narrative shifts in her TikToks from her saying that she had no idea she was a nurse to her not believing she's a nurse at all.
I am spiraling right now, and I hate that I'm spiraling. I hate that this still bothers me, but it does. I love to say all the time that online hate doesn't bother me anymore because of all the things that I've went through in the past. I feel like it made me a tougher person, and it did, but it still bothers me, and I hate that it does. I'm gonna explain myself one last time because I am going crazy and I can't help it. I am not a mean person. I am not mean to people. I love people and I love animals, and I hate that I'm so misunderstood right now because I really am not the person that y'all think I am.
Tara talks about how people don't know that she's actually a good person and goes on a tangent about how much she loves animals. We could get into that, but that's unrelated to today's topic. So I'm going to just say, if you want to know more, check out my previous video. Anyway, she goes on another rant about this same situation when if she had just removed the original video and apologized, this would have blown over 100 times faster than what it currently is. The more you drag it out, the longer it's going to last.
I am extremely empathetic towards people. I love animals. Like, that's who I am. I'm not a mean person, but I feel like I had a very normal human reaction to what she did. I did not know she was a nurse. I did not know that she had a shift that night.
Tara, a normal human reaction would be to maybe be disappointed or feel a little annoyed and then move on. Tell a few friends in your personal life if you want to vent about it. Or write about it in a diary, I don't know. But not your audience of 5 million people. Because you said it yourself, it's not that deep. She then claims that because she's a public figure, people expect her to be a pushover.
Whatever. So we were like talking all day, and then she just like stopped answering for the rest of the night. So when I made that video, I was like, wow, she definitely got me good. Like, I think that this is like a hater of mine that did this on purpose to like fuck up my night. That's why I said that. I had no idea she had a shift. I didn't know she was a nurse. When she finally got back to me that night, I had a very normal human reaction. I didn't flip out on her. I was just like, girl, what the f-? Like, I was relying on you. And that is a totally normal response, but because I'm a public figure, people expect me to be this pushover, and I'm not.
No, Tara, people don't expect you to be a pushover. People expect you to act rationally in a situation like this, which in my opinion, you didn't. Which she later alludes to in other TikToks, we'll get into that in a moment. That would be a totally different story. But that is not the story you're trying to tell right now with this second TikTok.
I'm allowed to be bothered by that. Just because I'm a influencer doesn't mean I have to be like, oh my god, no, it's fine. Like, I'm not a pushover. I never have been, I never will be.
So yes, Tara is allowed to be bothered by that. I'll agree. You are valid for being bothered by whatever bothers you. But once you make something public and make it everybody else's business, because that's what you do when you make it public, the person you're talking about is allowed to respond if they wish. And once they responded, that's when it seems like you've really been obsessing over it, at least from what I can see in my opinion.
People are commenting left and right like, oh my god, you owe that nurse the biggest apology. I'm like, for what? What? But no matter what I say, no matter if I apologize, no matter if I do what I'm doing right now, no matter if I don't say anything at all, people will still hate me for it because that's how the internet works.
You didn't apologize though. That's the thing. And you aren't owed people's approval for anything, by the way, not just trying to win back your audience's favor. And I also really dislike how self-centered she sounds in this next part.
I say all the time, if TikTok wasn't my job, I would do everything in my power. I would make it my life's mission to ban this app forever because it's ruining our world. It is so negative, it is so toxic, and it makes me so sad, but I love it at the same time. Like, I have my dream job.
So if you weren't directly involved with TikTok and TikTok wasn't your job specifically, you would want it banned because it's a toxic app and there's so many things wrong with it. What about all of the other people who also use TikTok as a source of income? This is one of the many reasons why people find Tara to be out of touch. This part right here. Now, I won't lie, online hate can get out of hand sometimes for anybody. She also isn't wrong for saying that TikTok can be toxic. It definitely is at times. The issue here is that she only seems to care about that when it affects her directly, at least from what I can tell through this video specifically.
I hate that it's like this sometimes because I wake up every single day so grateful and confused on how I'm in this position. I love making videos. I love having a community of followers. That's why I call you guys my friends. friends because I grew up watching YouTubers, and they felt like my friends because I could escape from whatever I was going through in my life and like sit down and like watch my friend on YouTube, and I loved it. And I love what I do so much, it makes me cry like daily.
Could you hold this for a second? I need to do something. Your viewers are not your friends! Thanks. Like I said earlier, you can make friends via social media, sure, but simply being a viewer does not equal friendship. That's bogus parasocial bullshit. You do not know every single pair of eyes that are on the screen watching you every single moment. That's impossible. Now, that doesn't mean you can't appreciate your audience. Just be realistic about it for 5 seconds and understand the difference between a viewer and a friendship.
So I hate that it's become this like negative, toxic space because it's my dream. I'm living my dream. But I'm not gonna like apologize for things that I'm not sorry for. That is like such a normal thing that I did. But because I'm in the public eye, people are calling me fucking evil. I'm like, I'm not evil. Like, go outside.
I want to clarify again, I don't think Tara is evil. I don't think she's a great person. I think she's done some pretty weird things and some questionable and controversial things, but I don't think she's evil. I've talked about way worse people on my channel, and to be fair, one of the reasons why I'm talking about this today is to take a break from that, but I think she just has issues that need to be worked on. She's allowed to be annoyed by the situation, and people are allowed to be annoyed with her for the way she handled it. On another TikTok, somebody commented, "You owe that nurse an apology." Tara responds, "An apology? For what?" That was an extremely normal human reaction that I had, and it's not like I flipped out. I was just like, girl, what the fuck? I did not know she was a nurse, although I don't even think she is. She's been posting AI-generated pictures, and it's giving 15-year-old troll who did this to create drama. We'll get into that more in a moment. She literally just ghosted me. But because I'm a public figure, everyone expects me to be a pushover, and I'm not. We had already gone through that. And I think genuinely, if she is willing to accept for 5 seconds, she was in the wrong in this situation. Because even if she did find out that this person was a serial scammer, she didn't know that when she first made that TikTok, the very first one, and freaked out. I'm not saying that's what happened. I don't know what happened, but with every video she makes talking about this, the narrative shifts and the goalpost shifts, and it gets less and less believable as she goes on, at least at the time of recording this video. Things would continue to get worse as Tara kept posting more and more about this situation. She could not let it go. So on top of downplaying this situation that she is now on the receiving end of the backlash, Tara also states that she doesn't believe the girl is really a nurse and is some 15-year-old, which she also says here.
Y'all, I'm crying. I'm only saying this right now because I've seen a couple of people now catching on and saying this, but I've been thinking this for days. There ain't no way that girl is a nurse. First of all, when she first DM'd me, like, she already had like 200,000 followers, yet she has no profile picture, 0 posts, no link to an Instagram. I'm like, you either bought those followers or you bought this account.
Maybe she deleted her videos, or what if they did buy viewers or followers or whatever? How would that discredit her being a nurse? How are those two things related?
Again, no profile picture, like super sketchy, 0 posts, no link to an Instagram, whatever. Then yesterday she was posting these like weird ass fake pictures on her TikTok, like, yo, I finna be at the club tonight, what should I wear? And they were like obviously like super fake, and I was looking at them like, what the fuck? And people were eating it up in the comments. They were like, go off, queen. I was like, these have to be AI. And I just saw someone like putting one of the pictures in like an AI generator thing, and it literally said like, this picture is 97% AI. And I was like, oh my god, that's what I thought.
I still don't see how this changes her saying she's a nurse.
She has then deleted all of those pictures because a couple people were commenting like, this looks real fake. And the fact that she's like, oh my god, like, I'm getting so much hate now. I'm like, you are the one who, I never said in my video like, this is her username, this is the girl that did this. She commented under it, and she goes, I'm the nurse, I'm the one. So she outed herself because she wanted attention.
So first, she painted this person as a hater when she was complaining about the halter top situation to begin with. Then they comment on her video explaining themselves, and Tara goes further. Is she obsessed at this point, maybe? That's just my opinion. She then digs into her account to find something, anything to discredit her, then claims that people were telling her that others had a similar experience with her, but doesn't provide any evidence of that. Number one, due to the lack of evidence at this point in time, I don't have enough reason to believe this, but two, if she's telling the truth here, this is significant information that was left out of her original video. She then claims that this person is in middle school. How do we know this?
Attention. I also got this like weird DM yesterday and it was like, hey, I know that person. She's like dating my brother's ex or like something like that. She was like, she's done this to other influencers before, like just to like stir something up. And she just posted and she's like, guys, I'm stepping back from social media. Like, I love posting and I'm gonna miss it so much. Like, I love posting so much. I'm like, she had 0 posts up when she first DM'd me. She does not post. And she's like, for those of you asking, I cannot post a picture of my face because then I'll get doxxed. I'm like, you don't want to post a picture of your face because you're in middle school.
She's confident in this, though. She says she knows it.
I obviously wasn't going to say any of this. Like, I've been thinking it for days, but now that I've seen, like, other people talking about it, I'm like, oh, let me chime in, because I've been thinking that, too. She does this for a day job, and I know it.
But how does she know it? She did not show any evidence proving her point. Somehow, Tana Mojo got involved in this situation and made a video wearing the halter top that Tara wanted. And Tara responded, seemingly upset about this.
Tana found the halter top. The halter top that I still want, by the way. I looked everywhere. I looked on, obviously, like, the website. I looked on, like, Poshmark. I found one, but, like, in an XL. I couldn't find it. I tried to use my money and my resources. I couldn't find the halter top. I still want the halter top. I feel like my body would have a trauma response if I did wear the halter top, but I still want the halter top. I have plans for the halter top. I asked her who her source was. Do you think she'll tell me who her source was, or do you think she's still mad at me? I'm still mad at her. She doesn't have to tell me. I've been a fan of for so long, like just jumping on the hate train and putting you down publicly. Like, I have been a fan of Tana Mojo since I was 16 years old. I've watched every single YouTube video, every single podcast episode, every TikTok, every YouTube video and podcast episode that she's been in of somebody else. I've watched everything she's ever put out. She makes me so happy, especially the past couple of years. Like, me and my best friend talk about how proud we are of her all the time. Like, I don't know, she just makes me so happy. I'm such a big fan of her, and it really, every time I see her face now on my TikTok, I just get sad because, like, I don't know, she talked about me like a bunch of times on the Canceled podcast, and honestly, like, I didn't really care when that happened, but the other day she made a TikTok about me, and it just felt like, it feels like she was just dogpiling onto me like the rest of the internet and kicking me while I was down, and she knows how much I love her.
I was gonna text her because I do feel bad. She has shown a lot of support to me and to Canceled and just different things, and I didn't want her to think I was just piling on top of a hate train, because I don't think that's ever the right thing to do to anyone. I think the point of, like, comments and hate and different things like that are hopefully to give people constructive criticism to help them grow. However, I think she just does not want to take that. It's a lot easier for her, I think, to take the route of everyone just hates me and that's just the way it is, which is very hard to watch. I do not think that we as influencers or celebrities should be asking to borrow things from our fans. I feel like my fans are my friends. We have whenever someone comes up to me and says, like, oh, this is parasocial, I always say, I don't think it's parasocial. I share everything, you share everything with me. We do have a very friendship-like bond, but I also understand that as the person on the opposite side of the power imbalance, that there are certain lines I cannot cross with my fans, because that's what it is. It's a power imbalance. They are a fan of me and I cannot take advantage of them. Part of me also thinks that this entire thing is class A rage bait. Like, put it on her IMDb and give her an Oscar. / is she the nurse? / like all of these, because she's done a lot of calculated things before on the internet and has said that she does those to make money to pay for certain things, whether it's Harry Styles or her mortgage, you know?
I could go deeper into this part of the situation, but for right now, we're just sticking to the Tara subject. Recently, Tara has gotten the top, and honestly, in the online image, it didn't look that horrible. So I actually don't hate this top, at least in the picture that's posted here. But unfortunately, it seems like it fit a lot differently in person than it did on the model wearing this in the picture. It didn't look flattering on either Tana or Tara, in my opinion. And that's not their fault or me saying that it's their body type or anything like that. To me, it just seems like one of those shirts that look good on the website itself, but then when you get it in the mail, it's just shaped completely differently and just ends up not working out. Online, this picture here, I know a lot of people have said that the top was ugly. I think it could actually look cute if you style it right, but when you see Tana and Tara wear it, it looks so different. which puts more salt on the wound in this situation because this turned out to not even be that cute of a shirt for her to be freaking out over to begin with. Like I mentioned earlier, Tara has a multitude of other controversies and issues that has left her with gaining lots of backlash for quite a while, but this is where we're going to end things on her story for now, as we have more examples of this pattern of out-of-touch behavior by influencers and why people are so over it at this point. And like I mentioned, I did do a deep dive on Tara, so if you're interested in that, I'll link it in the description below.
Come high jewelry shopping with me. Nogueira flew us out to Italy to look at their newly unveiled collection, Polychroma. They left us some goodies in our hotel room. Had some French toast for breakfast, did a quick walk on the treadmill before heading to the high jewelry showroom. Upon arrival, we were escorted by their team through the emerald, ruby, and sapphire rooms. Any pieces that caught my eye were brought to the private room. Next, I tried on the Chronos Legacy Centaur, which featured an 11.92 carat emerald.
Another thing that people are over are the mega wealthy, especially when they flaunt that wealth online for millions to see. There is a universal disdain for the ultra wealthy right now for obvious reasons. For some reason, however, when it comes to Becca Bloom, she obtained a large audience that claimed she was riching right, despite her being the heiress of billionaires. The reason why I believe that people were claiming this is actually due to Becca's content strategy. So I don't think that riching right is actually something that exists, but I think the way that she had marketed this is what had gotten her popular. Let's walk through this and I'll explain why. And I also want to point out that Becca Bloom wasn't someone who gained their wealth by starting out online and building an empire for herself. She gained popularity online for being rich. Becca starts each video out with quite an entrance that stops you in your tracks when it comes to scrolling.
Hi guys, we're headed off to get my cat baptized today. Oscar's been acting out lately and my friend says he needs God. I gotta stay hydrated for the amount of cardio I'm about to do. Plate my cat's breakfast with me. Oscar and I are actually eating from matching chargers this morning. It's day 22.
Oh, happy 22nd day of Christmas to the brightest star in the whole wide world.
How'd you get my favorite cookies?
I had someone fly to New York.
It's our first day on the slopes. Get ready with me in the gondola. Come high jewelry shopping with me. Our local Bulgari closed the boutique for a private visit so my sister and I could do some last minute Christmas shopping. I put my husband's credit card into a wand. Let's go shopping. First stop is Chanel. I wonder if they accept magic. I was at the grocery store just now and I had this revelation that today would have been my birthday if I was born today. I bought my first ever sheet cake. This is my mom's doing. Everything my fiance got me for Valentine's Day, starting with this giant Vanessa floor bouquet of roses.
Sometimes she begins her TikToks with lots of movement and shuffling bags, and other times she starts by talking about something absurd, like how she was getting ready to go to her friend's goldfish's funeral.
My friend's goldfish just died, so I'm gonna do a quick little OOTD as we go to her goldfish's funeral today. To pay my respects, I have this black trench coat on. It is stunning. It has these cute little bows on the side. I got it last fall at Chanel in Paris. For my bag, I'm wearing this Croc Kelly. And then for my boots, I'm wearing Louboutins and then Calzedonia tights. Hopefully she recovers from this tragedy, but we will all be there for her.
To be fair, one of the bosses at a job I worked at a long time ago had some sort of rich friend who would throw a $20,000 party for their dog's birthday every year, and it was really weird, and everybody he told looked at him gobsmacked like, are you serious? And this was like 8-ish years ago. What I'm trying to say is, I don't doubt people do this with that much money. Regardless of whether the goldfish story is real or not, it's something that gets a person to stop for a second, and that's all the time she needs to get people hooked into watching the entire TikTok.
Everything my husband got me for Christmas. My wedding box has finally arrived. Dun, 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 dun. I was thinking we'd throw my wedding reception dress in there. Unbox my wedding present. This is the first wedding present I've received so far. Let's decorate my cat's Christmas tree. Everything my husband got me for our anniversary.
Becca is also very charismatic and comes across as a very sweet or nice person online, which is one of the reasons why I think many have taken a liking to her. For some, this content may also be an escape from reality, living through somebody else vicariously even just for a few seconds, especially when they have a fascinating or common lifestyle, which is something that I can actually understand to an extent. extent. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't mesmerized by some of the things that she has shown off in some of her TikToks. I truly appreciate a lot of the art behind certain fashion. It's just pretty to look at, basically. Except for these things. I've seen people wear this type of jewelry all over, though likely knockoffs, because what do you mean this bracelet is priced over $5,000? I don't think it's ugly, but I don't find these to be worth that type of price tag. It looks like something you can get from Claire's. Again, I don't think it's ugly, it just doesn't look like it's worth that in my opinion. Back on track though, while this content can be entertaining for some because Becca does show off some beautiful things that most of us will never actually own, but if your algorithm is anything like mine, you'll see something like this and then scroll to the next video and it'll be the most devastating thing you've ever seen in your life, and reality will come back hitting you with such a force that it feels like whiplash. So while Becca isn't posting intentionally harmful content, many people aren't fond of her because, as this fits the pattern, the content itself does appear out of touch. People are growing tired, hungry, and more distressed every single day. Content like this makes people feel like the bread is gone and the circus is unwatchable.
Holiday traditions in our family.
Becca opens all of her presents before Christmas.
I don't do well with surprises.
Bruh, you pick your own presents and then act surprised when you open them.
My mom sets up a Christmas tree for every pet in our household. So we have a tree for our dog, a tree for our cat, and a tree for our fish. And they each have presents underneath them. Let's decorate my cat's Christmas tree. It looks very naked right now. Found this garland. And da-da-da. Yeah, maybe not. His favorite foods. And da-da-da. This is Oscar. This is our dog's tree. This one's our tree. This is our fish tree. We had it custom made this year with sea moss. And da-da-da.
Yeah, so Becca's parents custom ordered a much better one for her, but it wasn't going to be here on time. So her mom made the manager of the store send us the display so Becca could open it for Christmas.
These are my dog's favorite dog treats, and today we're going to do a side-by-side comparison. Okay, we're up for number 2, and it is the bunny butt. Ready? Go. The last one, we have the pillow. Ready, set, go. Sushi grade salmon sashimi. Our chef also made Oscar this tuna bone broth blend, which smells like a stinky sock, but to each their own. Soft boiled quail eggs. I'm just gonna give him one because Oscar's also a little bit overweight. We have some salmon roe caviar for seasoning. I'm not gonna put too much of it because I don't want to overwhelm him. Freeze-dried codfish, which I'm just gonna sprinkle. Oscar's not gonna eat these, but for presentation, we have some edible flowers. I always put a blueberry in his plate so he could play around with it after he's done. Not happy staring at him eat from the window. I guess Becca at least decided to do some angel tree TikToks, unlike another influencer that we'll mention later on. Just got off work, we're gonna do some more angel trees. There they are. The store's about to close, so we don't have much time, but we have a 2-year-old girl, a 5-year-old girl, and a 13-year-old boy. Our 2-year-old girl wants a tricycle. We found it. Get her a scooter too.
Hell yeah.
I could do a much deeper dive on Becca Bloom, how some theorize she may be faking some of her content due to drama with another rich TikToker, which, to be fair, even if she is exaggerating some of her lifestyle, it's clear that she has lifelong sustainable wealth that most people will not achieve in their entire lifetime. So even if she wasn't the heiress of a billionaire, they still likely have a gratuitous amount of money. For now, though, we are moving on because we have a bit more to get into. Now, before we get to the last creator on my list, there is something that I want to point out when it comes to the pattern of out-of-touch influencers I've seen pop up on my platforms, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, etc. Mostly the ones that I am mentioning today. This energy wasn't the same when vlogging on YouTube was popular, such as Jake and Logan Paul, Shane Dawson and Ryland, Jeffree Star, James Charles, and many others. Granted, every single person I just mentioned has a laundry list of significantly worse controversies, so maybe their wealth had been overlooked for some much more serious things, or maybe, again, this is because in the past 5 years alone, the economic climate has gotten so much worse that people are no longer happy seeing this type of content because while at one point they could look at this as a fantasy, it now becomes something that may taunt them because they know they will never achieve anything close to this. But I do question why it's always these types of videos receiving hate and not videos of people showing off their sports cars, lavish properties, and other types of expensive luxuries. Is it because you can visualize every single expensive item in these new TikToks so it appears greedier and more gluttonous? Is it because cars and properties are somehow seen more as investments, whereas the items in these hauls are often seen as overconsumption? Is it because there are different target audiences, and maybe the target audience for the people looking at sports cars won't be as outraged as the target audience looking at handbags? I don't know. Or is it something else? Personally, I think it's a mixture of different issues that contributes to the criticism. I also think that flaunting one type of wealth is no better or worse than the other, unless you're flaunting your wealth to like give to the poor or something like that. That would be a different situation. Regardless, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. And with that being said, let's move on to the very last influencer I have to share with you today.
Every single day, I get up at 6 a.m. I spend about 5 to 6 hours filming video content. I spend a few hours editing that video content. Then I have to work on my other social media profiles, whatever it may be, Instagram, whatever. I'm in meetings from 12 to 5. I literally just finished working. It's 5:19. Try being an influencer for a day. Try it. This is what 10 plus years of hoarding and collecting makeup brushes looks like. I don't even know how many there are.
I am having my closet completely professionally reorganized, and today they made major progress. They started the morning by finishing this sneaker wall. It's fall, which is so convenient because that means it's UGG season, bitch. We're about to open over 300 PR packages. This is the most amount of packages I have ever received. This is gonna take me hours.
Mikayla Nogueira, perhaps one of the most popular beauty influencers on TikTok in the current day, seemingly started from humble beginnings to becoming what many consider unwatchable and now unrelatable. Now, before we get into this last part of the video, I want to put a disclaimer here. This is not a deep dive on Mikayla. I'm just focusing on one of many issues and controversies that she has had over the course of her career. I know she has gotten involved in many other more serious situations, and if you would like for me to talk about that in a separate video, let me know down below. But for now, we're just focusing on what falls into this pattern that I've been seeing, which is the increase in whatever this is.
So, I blacked out. Kinda bad. So let's do my biggest luxury unboxing literally ever.
In this video, you can see her reviewing a bunch of luxury items, and she actually has a part 2 to this as well.
Stuff I got from Louis Vuitton is literally so good. Like, I can't even tell you how good this haul is about to be. I could not say no to this. I couldn't. Hello? This is the winter bag of my dreams. Just to show you up close, it is very cool.
It's honestly sad seeing her go from such joy and excitement because it looks like she's holding the entire world in her hands in this moment. It was something that she genuinely looked like she was cherishing.
It's perfect for me, am I right? It's absolutely perfect. It's everything I'd want in a Chanel bag. It's my color. I never thought in my entire life that I would own a Chanel bag. Let alone my dream Chanel bag. So it's just crazy to me, and I'm just trying to like wrap my head around this. But I worked my ass off for this, and I knew I would. I knew I would in my lifetime. I would work my ass off to own a Chanel, and I'm so, I don't know. It just feels so fucking crazy to me that I can afford something like this. And I never want to be showy, but I am proud that I can do this, and I do love fashion. So I do want to show you guys because it feels surreal to me, and I love to share things with you guys. So let's open her up. Oh my gosh. Okay, ready? Oh man, it's in the cloth. Hold on. Ready? Here she is.
To this, where it feels so hollow and void of emotion.
This is the most insane bag purchase I have made. If you don't like luxury unboxings, I'm gonna give you like 5 seconds to scroll. When I saw this bag, I just needed it, okay? That's all I can say. This bag was literally made for me. It is absolutely insane. As someone who is very into designer, Chanel specifically, this is very special. This is so special.
At this point, she probably makes enough money to buy any designer item she wants without thinking twice, and probably has a grand collection of it, so the excitement in saving up for something that you thought you'd never have isn't even there anymore. It's not that this content just appears somewhat soulless, honestly. It's the same issue that Becca Bloom has that causes this out-of-touch label to fall upon their shoulders. Mikayla might not have been born into extreme wealth like Becca Bloom, but she is still posting content like this while many are struggling. She may specifically be receiving more backlash than Becca Bloom for a very particular reason. Becca built her social media following by drawing in curiosity for her extreme wealth and lifestyle. Mikayla built her social media empire by starting out as a relatable, humble makeup artist at one point and just focusing on makeup and passion for the art of it. As her audience grew, so did her tastes, and that relatability seems to have slipped away more and more as time went on, creating a rift between her and her early followers. So basically, I think this is why Becca could be considered riching right, while Mikayla is receiving a lot more criticism, especially from the beginning. Mikayla had also gotten into a bit of angel tree drama. I'm going to briefly discuss this situation. Around the holidays, angel trees were a really big thing. They've been a big thing, I think, since I was a kid. Maybe they weren't called angel trees, but I remember my family would always do them. We were struggling, but we were still doing the angel trees for other people who were struggling. We would take an angel off of the tree. It was really cool. So seeing a bunch of rich creators being able to do these lavish angel tree hauls is nice. It's nice to see people giving back. Mikayla said that she was going to be doing that, but then it seems like she possibly blew it off because she hadn't updated on it, and after the deadline for the angel tree and not posting anything about it, people started making comments like saying, hey, where's the angel tree video? Where's the angel tree video? And she started getting really snippy responding to those.
About the angel tree, I don't know what the hell's going on in my comment section, but I always plan to do it on December 14th because I'm getting together with my college friends that day, and that's the day we're gonna do it. It does say it ends on the 15th, so that's what I plan to do. Now, if it does end earlier than I thought, and I'm not able to do it on Sunday, I've donated $25,000 to the Salvation Army, and that will do a lot faster than I can do going to Walmart and buying angel tree stuff. But I'm still going to attempt to do it if they have it. But I just want you to know, I donated $25,000 to the Salvation Army. You can go on my Instagram. I posted the receipt.
Which, like, that's pretty crappy, honestly. Like, it's one thing if you don't say anything about it and then you're not going to do it. I mean, it's your choice. You do whatever you want with your money. But if you're going to sit there and say that you're going to do an angel tree giveaway when you see all these other creators doing it, whether it's for clout or not, at least they're doing something to help somebody. When you say you're going to partake in that and then you blow it off, yeah, your fans are going to be upset with you. To be upset with your fans for being upset with you about it is crazy to me. I was going to say this feels like a tangent, but this does fall into the, again, out of touch pattern.
Let's start with Prada. In my shopping blog, this was the bag you guys wanted me to get the most, and it was not a question. It was not a question. This is so sick. It is everything. I absolutely love it. I'm so into animal print right now. I wanted a more casual fall bag, and I absolutely loved this cargo style. Like, this is just very everyday on the go cargo bag, and the color is really pretty.
At the end of the day, like I said earlier in this video, spend your money however you want. That's your business. As long as you're not causing harm to others, you do what you do. There is a conversation that can be had about the trend of overconsumption in general, but I'll save that topic for another day because that is another deep dive in and of itself. But for now, what I will say is that despite how much money you have or don't have, one, somebody will always have less than you, and somebody will always have more than you, even during these trying times. When it comes to flaunting wealth or treating desires as needs and blasting it all over social media, that is when I think it's important to know that you will likely receive backlash, because right now is not the time or the place to be showing things off and flaunting your wealth and being gluttonous and greedy in front of millions of people who are struggling. Because to your audience, especially, let's just say Mikayla Nogueira's audience, for example, who may have followed her since her humble beginnings. And to me, the term out of touch basically defines somebody as selfish in the way that they don't seem to care about why this type of content may have a time and place and why that time and place isn't really here and now. It doesn't mean you can't own nice things or even talk about them again, do what you want, but understand that not everybody is going to receive that type of content in a positive way, and it's up to you to decide whether the criticism of that is worth it or not before you post it online. Personally, I think the majority of the criticisms are valid when it comes to this situation, especially in today's economic and political climate. I do understand that some people do find this content as a way to cope and escape from the realities, even if it's just for a few minutes. But for every person that is using this to try and fantasize and escape and live through somebody vicariously, there are plenty of other people who are seeing this and finding it extraordinarily distasteful given the times that we are living through. And like I said, it's your money, you can do whatever you want with it, but just understand that when you are flaunting this type of lifestyle, that is the reaction that you're most likely going to get, and I can't imagine it's going to get any better anytime soon. So again, I ask, what are your thoughts on all of this? Let me know in the comments down below. And with that being said, thank you so much to everybody who has been supporting me over on Patreon and through YouTube memberships. Thank you so much to Belessa for sponsoring this video. Again, click my link in the description below and sign up if you would like to receive a free spicy toy with your order. And with that being said, I'll see you very, very soon in the next video. I'll see you later.